So I've titled this video, How to Do Whatever the Fuck You Want to Do. That's essentially what I want to talk about. The first step to doing that is to knowing yourself. Understanding where your skills, qualities, and where your actual life, where you want to actually be in the future. Because I think a lot of us are actually influenced by those around us, such as family, society, schools, rather than like our own genuine interests. Like for me, I'll just give you an example. When I was in school, I was told that the next logical step to school was college, then university, and blah, 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 get a job, retire at whatever age. I've never liked that way of living or the idea of following that traditional path. I've always been the person that's gone against the grain. I would probably even class myself as unemployable now. I'd be useless as an employee. I can't do that. I have to follow my own genuine interests, and I've made my own money for the past like 10 or 15 years now. Maybe, 10 or 12 years. And this journey for me all started back when I had jobs I absolutely hated. Like I used to work in a supermarket. Like just to give you context, I'm 33 years old now. And I used to work at a supermarket when I was 17. I think something like that, 17, 16. Maybe even younger or older, I'm not sure. But if I go into that same supermarket now in the town that I grew up in, there's still people working in that supermarket that were there when I was there, when I was 17. Which is, to me, I walk in and I almost feel this sense of frustration because I have such a drive and motivation to do things. I want to make good of every single day I have on this earth. I want to progress. I love momentum. And I see people doing this same thing like 17 years later or 16 years later, and I think, what are they actually doing? Now, they actually might be quite comfortable there. You know, they get a paycheck every month, they get by, they just turn up and I guess like they feel like a robot just doing the same thing every day, which was not for me. It really, that kind of scares me. And I've done other jobs in the past which I don't like. I really did not enjoy. I was a builder, like a joiner. I worked on a building site. Absolutely hated the building site banter. It was not for me. Felt like I couldn't like express myself, didn't enjoy it. Like the manual labor side of things, but other than that, it wasn't for me. I also used to be a personal trainer because I loved health and fitness. But then I felt in love with working one-to-one with people. Was not my thing at all. Then I started, just wanting to go down this path of pursue my own genuine curiosities, which is, mountain biking, content creation, adventure, travel. It was writing, it's now video creation. It still is writing as well, actually. All these experiences that I've created in my past 10 or 15 years, or even just my life as it stands right now, have all led to the point I'm at here. There's a lot of negative experiences or experiences where I haven't really completely enjoyed what I've been doing. And I read this in a book once by Tim Ferriss called The 4-Hour Workweek, and he calls it fear setting. And it's all about looking at the things that you don't want in your life. Because a lot of people future forecast things. They're like, oh, I want this car, I want all this materialistic stuff. I want to be living on a beach in the sun or in the mountains. But they actually forget, like, what are the things you don't want in your life? And you can only know what you don't want by going through that shit, by working the jobs you don't like, by spending time around people you absolutely hate, who don't lift you up, who don't advance you anywhere, who just drag you down. These are all things that you need to decide, like, I definitely don't want to hang around these types of people. I definitely don't want to do this type of job. I don't want my life to look like that in 5 or 10 years' time. I almost use things like this, like self-reflection, as like a compass. A compass that's like that guides me towards true north. So it's not always looking at like what I actually want. It's just eliminating the things I don't want. And then that kind of takes you to where you want to go. Next part of this is looking at the uncertainty of the future. Like there's so much stuff going on in the world right now. Inevitable world wars, like job uncertainty, markets going up and down. It's crazy. And to me, it's even crazier to think that most people will, happily glide through life relying on somebody else to support them. I'm just talking about general employment here. If you rely on a 9-to-5 job and that is your only source of income, yet you feel it's like this holy grail of like, it's safe, it's secure, this person pays me every single month. I would like to challenge that belief in saying that this person, this business could literally replace you at a drop of a hat, and then you have nothing. Somebody drags the rug from underneath you and you only have one source of income. You are screwed. You are absolutely screwed. And I've seen this so many times, and I've tried to tell people in the last few years, like how important having multiple sources of income is. Like it's literally, it's to me, it's clear as day. If you don't have one, everyone should have more than one source of income. Literally everyone on planet Earth should have more than one source of income. Because then if one fails, you've still got others to prop you up. And it's surprising how fast money disappears when you have none coming in. And you also need to understand that trying to avoid struggle for this fallacy of security and safety is a trap. There's a lot of people on the fence who I'm surrounded by who have wanted to, again, follow their own genuine interests and passions, but they're scared to take the leap and do it because it's hard. Like, what if it fails? It's a struggle. There's all these limiting beliefs behind it. But the actual trap is staying in this false fallacy of safety and security, because there is none. The safest way to build an income or multiple streams of income nowadays is to build it yourself. Like, it's very hard to sack yourself. You know, that's what my thought process is anyway. Yes, it's a struggle. Like, everything is hard. That's another thing I've learned as well. Everything in life is actually hard. Everything is a struggle. There's nothing that is really easy. Like, if you want to coast through life, fine, whatever. But if you're striving towards something and you want to make a better life for yourself and you want to get rid of the things you don't like, every single decision you make is hard. It's a struggle. But you just get to choose your level of hard. So my level of hard is, I guess, being an entrepreneur, going my own path, figuring things out for myself. Other people's version of struggle is going to a 9-to-5 job and not liking it, working for somebody that they don't like, and just fulfilling their dream, not creating their own. There's all different types of struggle, and you get to choose your hard, your version of hard. There's nothing that's easy about anything. Like, it's very easy for someone to look at my lifestyle now and think, oh, he's got it easy. He struck it lucky. He just did a few things and now he doesn't have to do anything. But I don't think that's the case at all. I don't believe in this whole fallacy of luck. Like, I have worked bloody hard to get to where I am right now. And that's not me saying, oh, I'm sat on some stupid pedestal. Like, I'm quite grateful where I am right now. I have a lot of freedom and a lot of flexibility to do whatever the fuck I want. I could literally wake up in the morning and decide, I don't want to work today. I don't need to work today. I don't have to show up and clock in to do anything at all. But there's something that's inside me that drives me forward to continue growing things and doing things, because that's the version of hard that I've chosen. And that's what fulfills me. I guess you call it like an A-type personality. I'm just like super future focused on momentum, achievement, doing stuff. And it's been really hard for me in the last few years trying to try and not just focus on that, but also live in the present moment as well and try and enjoy what I've built for myself, rather than just looking at the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Like, I love that, but also just taking a little bit of time to relax and chill and think, fuck, this is really cool where I am right now. I get to do that thing. I get to go and spend time with this person, or in this location. It's cool, but it's my level of hard. Everyone's completely different on this, but it's like a realization that I've had. I'm like, wow, that's cool. That's very, very eye-opening. And on from that as well, let's talk about mistakes and like fucking up. I've made so many mistakes in the last few years when it comes to trying different things, and they've failed. But then every now and again, you strike gold. You hit a home run, and you keep hitting home runs over and over again. And it's not because it's not because you were lucky. It's literally because you've learned from your mistakes. I've started a few different businesses over the last few years. Some have been a complete flop. But then, because I've learned from their mistakes and taken that forward, there's some businesses and things and projects I've worked on that have absolutely flown. The positive outcome, the net positive outcome of those few things that have worked have far outweighed the number of things that have failed. So if you are at this point and you feel like you don't want to step out your comfort zone because you might make a mistake, or maybe you have made a mistake and think, Christ, I tried this online business thing, I tried following my genuine interest and it didn't work from day one, so I've just left it. I've gone back to my job. Not for me. You want to learn from your mistakes. Mistakes aren't failures, they're just learning lessons. And the more, it's almost like the faster you can fail, the faster you will reach the goal that you want. Because you just learn from your mistakes, you stepping stone forward, and you reach whatever it is you want to reach in way less time. And way less, I was going to say effort, but it's not effort at all. It's just, I guess you are a much clearer person. You can see the roadmap where you want to go. And the steps become very much clear as to like the obstacles you must avoid. It's like, you're like, well, I made that mistake before, so I'm not going to make that mistake again. I'm going to do this differently this time. And then you come up against another mistake or another obstacle, and then you have to figure out how to overcome that. And this is literally just life, where you're just firefighting and overcoming obstacles, choosing your version of hard. And also act with intention as well. So When I decided to go all in on building my personal brand, essentially just do what I wanted to do, I did it with intention. It wasn't like this half-assed journey where I was like, I'll just dip my foot in the water here and see where this goes. It was like, no, this is what I want my life to look like. This is what I like doing, and this is what I don't like doing. How do I make this a reality? What can I do every single day that will move the needle ever so closer to that goal? And in doing so, you look back over a year, 2 years, even a few months, and you see the amount of progress you make. I feel a lot of people fail to get out the starting blocks because they don't address things like this. They just see this far away goal, this like climbing Mount Everest goal, and they're at the bottom at base camp thinking, fuck, how do I even get up there? Like, there's no chance I'm getting up there. So I'm just going to stay down here where it's safe. Whereas if you literally just put one foot in front of the other every single day and make small amounts of progress to a goal, it's almost crazy when you look back and join the dots at how far you've actually come. That's a really big lesson. Along the way as well, there's something called skill acquisition. To create the lifestyle you want by pursuing your own genuine interests or doing something you actually enjoy, you have to acquire skills. If you want to live this lifestyle, you have to have money to support it, right? There's no way around that. And to get money, you need to provide value for somebody else in exchange for money. And we do this through skill acquisition. So you need a skill, a high value skill. My high value skill is copywriting. There is links in the description below if you want to go and check out any resources and courses. There's many different things you can acquire to help people. High value skills could be video editing, copywriting, web design, social media managing. It like literally could be anything, but you want to acquire high value skills, which of course takes time. It's not something that happens overnight, but that has been another big breakthrough for me. Like copywriting for me was my high value skill. Like I know how powerful persuasive writing is. So I went all in on that and learned that and mastered that. And that was the thing that was the biggest leapfrog for me to get to the next stage of my journey. I mean, there's a lot of people that avoid this and think, oh, it's going to take so long to learn this and that. But yet there's people happy enough to spend 3 or 4 years to go and get a university degree, a piece of paper that they've paid tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of pounds for. And they come out the other end with just that and nothing to show for it. I am actually against the school system and university. That's my personal opinion. I would never go to those places because I don't see the value in them. Now, if you genuinely want to be something that requires a university degree or a master's degree or something, then of course you have to jump through the hoops. But if it goes back to that thing I said before, if you're being dictated by and influenced by the people around you, and you don't actually want to do this, you're just being forced into it. And you're going into debt for that, both like with your time and money. And you're coming out the other side with nothing to show for it. Whereas if you put those 3 same years into pursuing your own genuine interests and acquiring high value skills, I can pretty much guarantee you're going to be a million times ahead of the person who comes out of university with nothing. I've seen people come out of university with this fancy degree with their name on it, and they're still working a base level job like McDonald's or a restaurant or a whatever, because they can't find a job. So like, this is why I'm so passionate about talking about creating income for yourself, like being independent of your own income. Because if you rely on somebody else, you are literally screwed. And most people don't see it like that. They see this job as a safe and secure place to be. I don't think that is true at all. So that was my little tidbit on like how to do whatever you want. Now that's been my personal journey. It's a bit of a rant, but look, if you want to follow your genuine interests and literally be able to do whatever you want, like my goal is to wake up in the morning, and between the times I wake up and go to sleep at night, I can literally decide what I want to do, who I want to spend my time with, and what I want to work on. That's it. That to me is the most fulfilling way to live life. I hope this video is useful. Useful links in the description. I'll see you in the next video.